Geico. Been in Geico's playbook for 85 years. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com today. By Safeway, the official supermarket of the Washington football team. By Paytech Trust, proud partner of the Washington football team. By Acronis, the official cyber protection partner of the Washington football team. Protects our valuable workloads and keeps us cyber fit. By Victory Van Moving and Storage, delivering excellent services for 75 years and a proud partner of the Washington football team. By Bud Light, this one's for the fans. Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. By Chesapeake Employers Insurance, Maryland's largest writer of workers' compensation insurance. And by Ticketmaster. Buy or sell Washington football team tickets on Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Washington football team. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and the mouth of the South, Fred Smooth.
All right, we're streaking now. I said last week I was going to, try to temper everybody down until we started streaking, Fred, and now it's officially a streak. It's 2 straight.
Yep.
27-21 over the Panthers. Taylor Heineke, big game. Nobody was talking about Taylor's homecoming this week.
Nobody.
Taylor wouldn't even talk about his homecoming.
Both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks. This used to be the
Right.
ex-house they lived in.
Exactly. Taylor made his only other NFL start before coming to Washington there. A great day today as he throws 3 touchdowns, 60-22 day, 209 yards, and a Washington win. A really good running game from Washington today, too. Antonio Gibson gets benched in the first half, then comes out and almost has a 100-yard day.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. It ain't nothing like seeing your ex-girlfriend while you with your new girlfriend, and my new girlfriend looks better than she do, and her man ugly. That's what Coach just did. Coach just went home and showed him, look at this dime piece right here I have. He's not going to want to talk about it. He's downplayed it all week long. But you got to know he wanted this one right
Absolutely.
here.
We're going to ask him when he comes on with us here in a little bit. And you can watch us on YouTube and obviously hear us on the radio as well.
Yep.
We're
Facebook, too. We're everywhere.
We're live.
We're like a rash.
On the YouTubes right now and the Facebook. So check us out there on the Washington team sites. But we got a lot to get to. We'll get the coach. We'll hear from Taylor Heineke as well. Again, he downplayed it this week, but he was terrific today. It was good to see so many guys get involved. Obviously, Terry McLaurin, for whatever reason,
yes.
Fred, whatever reason, maybe you can explain it to me. You play DB. The Panthers thought single coverage on a lot of occasions was a good idea against Terry McLaurin today.
Because he's one of those receivers that just doesn't sell himself. You know how you got great merchandise, but you don't do a great job of letting the masses know you have.
But the people in the league know who he is. I mean, there were so many schemes today where Terry McLaurin literally had single coverage, and Taylor Heineke was like, all right, I'm going to take that one.
I'm going to take listen, but he's just one of those guys. He does whatever he needs to do to beat you. If it's outrun you, I'll outrun you.
Yeah.
If it's outroute you, if it's be patient and let the game come to me. He's the perfect receiver. And I had to say it, we're going to have to pay that man. You got to bag that Brinks truck up and pay that man because he's done everything the right way.
So Washington gets a win today to start all the Cam hoopla. By the way, Cam went the distance today. There was a lot of talk that, hey, he was, Matt Rule said, hey, Cam will start, right? He'll start.
That's all he said.
And then he said that, Walker will be part of the game plan. We never saw P.J. Walker because Cam obviously got off the great start. They took the opening drive down the field, scored on Washington. I mean, they came out and looked ready to go. Did the Panthers, but obviously, this Washington team got it going.
When the game first started
moving.
When the game first started, I could feel the electricity through my TV. For a short moment, I was afraid. I was afraid that they was going to beat us off of the energy that he was bringing to them.
Look, the hype. They met the hype, both sides, right?
Yeah.
You got Cam, the Cam return in Carolina. You got Ron's return. I guess it was their homecoming weekend. I guess this is where we need D'Angelo Williams circa 2012 to go. Homecoming. This is so disrespectful. This is a National Football League. Who the hell's ever heard of homecoming?
Yeah, you're like, and who is the perfect pick for homecoming? Like, you can only really pick a rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing you can actually do.
Well, I guess they wanted Ron to be part of it, so he was there, and all the former coaches were there. I mean,
it's a lot of familiarity.
We got a few of them, if you haven't noticed. We got a front office guy, Marty Herney as well, who was down there for a long time. So they got everybody, and Washington gets a win 27-21. And we will, like I said, get in the locker room. We'll get your phone calls.
We should apologize to Coach, but also thank Coach because we are the team that got Coach fired.
Now, Coach will also tell you a funny story from that game, although we won't have time to do this today. But sometime ask him about the the blown call in that game on one of the turnovers that was missed that changed his fortune.
Yeah.
Because there was a blown call in that game that was it should have been a call in Washington that did not go against them and ended up obviously going against them.
Well, all I can say is this. For the first time, losing the job actually benefited us on the other end. Like, we forced the hand of your team to bring you to us. That just tell you gotta really understand one man's garbage is another man's grace.
All right, we're brought to you by Geico, where the renter-owned Geico makes it easy to bundle home and auto insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. I'm not really sure. I just kind of roll with it when you do it sometimes.
No, I was wondering, was that a saying? Another man's garbage is another man's grace.
It's trash to treasure, but hey, whatever, man. Whatever you want to make it. All right, 301-230-0980, 301-230-0980. We get to the phones. We'll get to you from there. All right, defensively, a little bit of a rocky start.
Yep.
They kind of settled in. For a while there, it looked like McCaffrey was going to have 150.
Darius Sanders.
Cam was running a little bit early as well. What did you see from the defense as the game went on, as they kind of settled into the football game?
My big thing, even before the game started, I was like, all right, they're going to have high energy, one, because Cam back. But they also going to have a limited playbook because Cam back. And I said it's one person we had to stop, and that was Christian McCaffrey, a.k.a. Darius Sanders. You can't stop him, but can you slow him down? And we had a game plan to slow him down, and the milk went spoiled. All right, that's what happened. When you slow down, the key to the offense, the milk goes bad.
Well, they were 2-9 on third down with the Panthers today. That was great. Washington defense, we know the third down defense has really struggled early part of the year. But this week, much like last week against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense, this offense with the his defense, has done a good job getting off the field in third down. And this is how they've been able to get more plays for Scott Turner. We've seen more of the run game. We've seen more of the smash mouth.
And you're right. You just hit it. The run game. Yep. The run game is the best defensive tool you can use offensively. You weaponize it. For the last couple of weekends, we've done that with that rush. And it's all three backs. We were just talking. We want to see more passing. We want the team to go to Jarrett's, because if you go to Jarrett's, you probably get in the ring. All right, so I want that. But at the end of the day, I don't want J.D. McKissick's touches to go away. Right. I don't want the Gibson touches to go away. So that just means what? Run the ball more.
You got talent. I mean, you got three really big weapons there out of the backfield. And look, they were down in the red zone. It's a big fumble in the first half by Gibson. At that point, they're losing the game, right? He goes and he fumbles on the 13-yard line, and then he basically stands on the sidelines for the rest of the first half. And obviously it was a message sent there, and he came out like gangbusters in the second half and was running like a man possessed, running through tackles, moving the pile like we saw last week from him as well. That was good. Now, I didn't love the running out of bounds late when they're trying to kill the clock.
and there go to your football IQ. Them the plays. And that'll be what coach will use. Sure. Like, when you get a good film like this, you also point out all the bad. You got to get out. You got to stay in bounds right there. Like, I'm wondering if he could have ran a touchdown. It's times where you turn down touchdowns in those situations.
Exactly. You slide, you take your knee, whatever,
So that's just something he'll learn from with him being a young back. But he got to hold on to that ball. Like, when you talk about running backs, holding on to that ball is holding on to that check, holding on to that bag, holding on to that money. All right? And you can't let that money go like that. That pigskin is worth millions of dollars. I don't know last time you checked, Jack, but people get paid for holding on to it.
Yeah, they do. Tiki Barber saved his career by holding
on to that pigskin.
Started holding it real high, and it looked funny, but you know what? It was very effective for him, because before that he was really struggling, to obviously secure the football, and it was a point where people were like, well, I don't know if this guy could be trusted.
Whoever thought a pork rind could be worth so much money?
No question about it. So, again, that was big today. Defensively, we talked about the improvement throughout. I thought Cam Curl maybe made the play of the game.
He continues to make plays.
Right, the 4th and 3, McCaffrey, the ball's thrown under the chains by Newton, but Curl meets him there immediately, gets him, make sure he doesn't get any momentum, make sure he can't turn and reach with the football. That, to me, was really the play of the game for defense. And obviously Payne, late sack as well was big, but I kind of felt like that at that moment, because, Carolina had a little bit better chance to do something there with time on the clock. But
well,
big
at the end of the day,
Curl.
him moving back to strong safety. What did I say early in the year? He's just not in the picture enough. When you move Landon Collins, these are the few moves that we ain't saying that we've been benefiting ever since these moves happened. And Cameron Curl is back in the picture like he was last year, making the plays that don't show up in the stat book. Like, that's not going to show up as a game-winning tackle. They're going to show up as a tackle. All right? And people are going to look at it for what it is. But the coaches understand understand. The players understand. Every time he gets a chance to make plays, Cameron Curl makes plays.
All right, let's talk to Ron Rivera right now. Coach Ron Rivera is with us. 27-21 win, back-to-back wins, Coach, coming out of the bye. And I know you said it was just a business trip for you, but did it feel any better than some of the others?
Tell us the truth, Coach.
Just a little bit better. You can be honest here. Which postgame now?
It was all right. It was awesome, guys. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm so fired up and excited and proud of my guys. It was a hell of a team win, and it was worth it, man. It really was. Thank you, guys.
And Coach, that's what I was going to talk about. This was so much a team win. I don't know what group you get a game ball to. I'm sure you get the game ball. But what group stuck out to you and you say, you know what, they changed the game? And I think it was the running back room.
See, I agree with it, but I think it started with the guys up front. The offensive and defensive lines really were physical and did the things they needed to. I love the way Antonio gives him bounce back. I thought the way we used our three running backs really, really, really worked very well. All three guys contributed to today's victory. And Taylor, obviously, he had a little bit there, too, as well.
Yeah, Taylor, really good today, distributing the ball. And you guys are terrific in the red zone. I thought Taylor made some really good decisions, obviously some very big-time passes and some tight windows today.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job. I'm really, really fired up for him. And, it's good for him, too, because, again, there's a little bit of a homecoming for him as well.
And, Coach, I know you anticipated the energy in this building when you knew you was coming back, Cam was coming back. How do you feel that the team weathered that first drive or those first couple of drives to get everything back to where it needed to be?
Yeah, I know, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit because I thought that was one of the things we talked about. There was going to be a lot of energy, and the thing we got to do is we just had to keep it in front of us. Unfortunately, it got away from us on that first drive. But then once we settled in, it became a true battle.
Well, Coach, we'll let you go and enjoy it with your family and with the team. Congratulations, 2 in a row, and a big Monday night game coming up against Seattle. Appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Coach.
Congratulations, Coach Ron Rivera.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it did mean a little bit more. It felt pretty damn good, too.
No, listen, and the players, we know these things. Like I said, everybody tried to play it down during the week, but I could sense it in the building while I was over here. I knew they understand that. Coaches always want to get their revenge for Coach because we want to say, you know what, he's in a better situation with us than he was with you. So it's like the players get to one-up the other team also.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Washington beats Carolina today, 27-21. Get to hear from Taylor Heineke and some others, hopefully, in the postgame locker room in a bit. Washington a winner, 2 straight. Proved the 4-6 with the Seahawks coming in on Monday night. You're listening to the Washington Football Team.
Time to go inside Coach's office, presented by Geico. Great news, there's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Visit geico.com and in 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance.
Over here what I have is a group of the challenge coins that I've collected over time. There's some really neat ones, some really pretty unique ones as well. Some of them I've received from generals, from commanding officers, colonels, and majors. Some from NCOs, from sergeants, master sergeants. I was fortunate enough to receive one from the SEAL teams. I received one from the Delta Force teams. Some really neat people and great Americans, people that have really truly committed to our country and sacrificed and really do appreciate who these folks are.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Washington Football Team postgame show. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot.
1:11 to go. Ball game on the line here. 4th and 2, the 48-yard line of Washington. Toohill, Allen, Payne, Smith-Williams across the line. Kendall Fuller in tight. 3 wide receivers to the left. Newton has the snap. Washington brings 4 again. He steps up. He is hit, and he is sacked! Sacked by Deron Payne and James Smith-Williams. And Washington is a couple kneel downs away from a win.
What about the time to get a sack and get to Newton? Love it.
That's a good job by the coverage on the back end, locking it up. Nowhere for Cam Newton to go. The D-line continues to rush. We talked about Deron Payne a couple plays ago. Well, actually 2 plays ago. And now the game-sealing sack.
27-21, Washington beats Carolina. Scott Jackson, Fred Smoot with you here. Official post-game show. Just heard from Coach Ron Rivera. We'll hear from more, hopefully shortly, from the locker room.
Why you do that all the time?
Let's get to some numbers.
No, I'm asking you. Why every time I got music coming on, you talk right over my music and you kill my groove?
Listen, you can
every time you do it, Jack.
We don't need you dancing on the YouTube.
I'm just saying, you do it all the time. You just you heard me ask for that song.
Well, you heard it, didn't you? I mean, how much more did you need? You can hear it. I mean, it's from your iPod. You can listen to it on the way home. All right. Numbers brought to you by Novak. Keeping life bright. Washington 24 first downs to 18 for the Panthers. We mentioned earlier the Panthers just 2 and 9 on 3rd down. Washington 2 for 2 on 4th today, 6 for 13 on 3rd. 65 plays to 49 for Carolina, 369 to 297. Total yards in favor of the Washington football team. 190 yards on the ground. Wow. To 111 for Carolina. 8 penalties weren't good. That was probably one of the emphasis things they'll talk about this week that they didn't like. The 8 penalties, 69 yards, not great. 35-53 to time of possession to 24-07 once again. And a Washington W for the team with the W logo.
Last call for alcohol, hand me a Heineke. At the end of the day, the guy continues to go out there and make plays.
206, 3 TDs. He had, let's count them, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers.
All right.
Today, including, Terry McLaurin, 6 for 103 and a touchdown.
Terry is basically unstoppable.
Adam Humphries, by the way, had a couple really big catches
He
today.
Always does.
Yeah,
he always does.
But they go to him in a tight spot. 2 for 30. John Bates had a couple for 23. DeAndre Carter had a touchdown again. I think that's, 3 straight weeks now.
And we went to Jared's.
It's right.
Yeah,
and
we did.
Cam Sims, our guy, got on the field and got a touchdown.
Hey, that's my guy. That's the guy I've been wanting to see, but they, for some reason, they felt like Diami Brown was ready to get those snaps. And that's when sometimes you just got to lean on the veterans, all right? Go with what you know.
I see the official stats, by the way, have split the sack to be shared by Payne and James Smith-Williams.
That
was the first sack of the game for Washington.
I love guys with 3 first names. Is that 3 last names? James Smith-Williams.
It's actually 3 last names.
3 last names.
I don't think you could have a first name Smith. Well, you could, but it would be awkward. It would be odd.
Yeah, you're right. So they're 3 last names.
There's 3 last names for sure.
All right. I don't know if I trust a guy with 3 last names.
Yeah, so that was timely, needless to say.
Yep.
I thought, overall, defense, there were no big plays outside of the McCaffrey touchdown pass. It was that kind of steady defensive performance,
right? That's what it was. We played a team that just beat the front runner to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. That's telling you. This is the week after we just beat the defending Super Bowl champs. So now if you in that locker room, it's nobody in this league you feel like you can't play with right now.
Yeah, we'll talk about Seattle later, but Seattle is not Seattle.
I'm sorry. Seattle is falling apart.
Yeah, that's a game you got to get here. And actually, I don't know. We'll see what the number ends up being, but it's a game that it wouldn't shock me if it was – this team might actually be close to favored in. Maybe not favored, but close to favored.
Not favored, but also we got enough people up front to make it a long day for Russ. All right, for some reason, him and Metcalf, and we got to understand that hand of Russ, sometimes we got to get out our own way. I think he might be rushing himself back. We've seen a quarterback do that by the name of Bobby Three Sticks. It don't work. You can't rush yourself back. You have to be healthy when you're playing this game. We can get out to him, and we can score some points on that defense.
And, look, there's still a lot of work to do. They dug themselves a pretty big hole, but they've come out of this bye week with 2 straight wins over 2 teams and 2 defenses, by the way. They're playing really well. I mean, as much as we were talking up Tampa last week and their defense, this Carolina defense was higher ranked.
Yes.
They were putting up numbers. I mean, this team moved the ball up and down the field. Let's not forget, again, they were in the red zone and didn't score. So you had 5 scoring drives today. Should have had a 6th.
Yep.
So they really, Scott Turner in this offense has really figured something out over these last few weeks with this good mix of running, still throwing the ball. I mean, Heineke was aggressive throwing the ball downfield to McLaurin today and got some good looks there.
Yep.
I had one that they just missed that, it was hard to tell in the replay if it was maybe Terry just kept running after it or if Taylor puts it out a little bit more out to the green space, he runs under it.
Yeah, but you're going to miss those passes because this one of them passes, if he throws it short, it's a pick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's why McLaurin slowed down to go up and play it because there was a DB coming in and he didn't want it picked.
Yeah.
And he was almost playing defense.
And that's why you love Terry because he makes those plays. And we talk about the plays that's never on the stat sheet that changes games. Those are the plays. And that shows high football IQ. Now, we can't speak for the running out of bounds thing, all right? But at the end of the day, for the most thing, this team did not beat themselves. And that's what we did early in the year. I can go through all the games early in the year, and I can point out 4 or 5 plays where I like, that's us beating us. That's us doing us. That's us not being good at that situation. So this is what I can say about this team. I can always appreciate a team that learn from their mistakes. And that's what it's looked like this team is doing.
Well, they overcame some mistakes in this game. I mean, you talk about penalties hurt them. They aided the Panthers in a couple drives with some penalties, and they had late. They backed themselves up a couple times and still converted on third downs.
Yep.
And those kind of things. So today they were able to kind of play through their own mistakes. And, again, get the W most importantly.
And Coach was right. We got to get his offensive line some love. They've really played the best out of every unit all year long.
Well, you lost your second starting center.
Yep.
So Ted Larson, I don't know how serious that ends up being. And then Schweitzer slides over. Schweitzer missed a couple plays, and Ishmael came in.
Yep.
And they didn't seem to have too many snaps. There might have been a couple snap issues. I'm not sure if that's on the center or was the new, what was going on there. But they did have a few of those through the false starts. But, again, played through it, made the mistake, just keep plugging along. But, no, he's right. I mean, the offensive line, Cosme goes out.
Yep.
But Lucas started here last year. Lucas was your starting left tackle.
I thought he was going to be the starter.
Right.
It shows you have depth there. And what did I tell you for years and years? We ain't just started this show. I said it's all about the big boys that smell like bacon. Because if you got those type guys, you can change a game. Think about it. The last time we won a Super Bowl, we had the Hogs. Guess what a hog smell like? Bacon. So at the end of the day, once you got those guys, that's when you can change a football game. That's when you can dictate a football game. And the defensive line, they smell like bacon too. They came out here and made it hard for Cam Newton.
Well, they have they've showed, look, they got some depth here, no doubt. I mean, there's some depth on this team, and that is shown. I mean, it seems like actually they played better with some of the depth at times than they have with some of the guys that were the original starters.
Because you can overthink things sometimes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you have talent, you stop yourself from being creative in your play calling. Then you get lazy and say, you know what, I don't have to do that because I got guys that you can beat one-on-ones. No, put them in the same position that you would put anybody else in, and now I can get the maximum usage out of them.
All right.
Why do I talk with my fingers all the time?
I don't know, because we're on YouTube, so people can see it.
All right.
All right. We're going to get to some more from the locker room. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get to some of the players of the game as well as the injury report. Phone calls, too, coming up at 301-230-0980. Official Washington Post game show coming off a 27-21 win over the Carolina Panthers. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
The Players Club is presented by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington Football Team.
How important is it for you guys to kind of go out, break bread, just kind of hang out and be around each other? How good is that for the chemistry and just the camaraderie moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important, and also, it pays dividends on Sunday, right? Because the more time I spend with John, the more I see how John thinks, right? Yeah. So when John's next to me, I can say, all right, here's what I'm expecting. Here's what I think John will do. And now I'm playing off of him. I'm not even thinking about it. And I think that really pays off with, spending that extra time together.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, we had those dinners on Thursdays also. I used to take the receivers. We all would meet up at Hooters, and it got crazy because it got to one time, And what you laughing about?
Because I'm from Florida.
Right. I'm there for the food.
I ain't
You're there for the wings, right?
Free food. That's why they usually free food.
No, but it actually gave us a chance to bond, though,
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay.
A chance to bond. So it's good that you guys get a chance to, get away from the team and bond, because it does pay dividends, and it shows up on game day. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, one of the things that people take for granted is you need to know your opponent. You need to know that guy next to you too, but you need to know your opponent. And if both of us have that same mindset as, hey, this guy's gonna do this, so we can, I had a thing with Reggie when I was in college where he was always the ex-receiver. And we got into games, we got bored with it. Like, he's going to be this guy, I'm going to be my guy Z. So we started switching it up.
Right.
And we would get in different sets when we bunching, when we in Liz, when we in, or, whatever it might be, Rip. And he say, hey, you play X, Tanner, because I can do it. So, one that came from us just being boys and just knowing what to do and knowing that at the end of the day, we're gonna dominate these guys in front of us, but we want to give them something different. Right. So.
Another round. What a night. I'm gonna head home now.
Make sure you call for a ride. That's what we're doing.
I'm fine. I can drive. I'm fine.
Just calm down. Come on, man. None of us are fit to drive. How about we get you a safe ride home, all right?
It's about grit. It's about guts. It's about winning. It's about where we come from and what we can be. It's about DC and celebrating our football team. With the Washington football team scratcher from the DC Lottery, you can win up to $50,000, as well as some exciting second chance opportunities. And you can continue your winning experience at DCILottery.com.
Military.
Fred Smoot.
Bates and McKissick to the left. It's an empty backfield for Heineke. Now McKissick moves back a little closer to the slot to the left. Snap to Heineke. Looks over the middle. Has a receiver in the end zone. McLaurin! Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
On the double team, too. They trying to double team him. You got a guy running underneath, a guy over the top, and he's still able to go up like MJ and go get that football.
And he got yanked down from behind. There was a pass interference call that was going to be made if he didn't make the catch. They'll decline it, and Washington is an extra point away from tying this ball game.
Three touchdown passes from Taylor Heineke, the offensive player of the game, brought to you by Eureka, proud partner of the Washington football team. Visit eurekavs.com. At perfect timing, we have Taylor Heineke on the phone from Carolina after the win over the Panthers. And I know you didn't say you didn't feel like it was a homecoming this week, Taylor, but did it felt any better?
You got to tell us the truth on this one.
You can tell us the truth.
Come on, you can let it out.
Yeah.
I've been in those revenge games, too, and feel good to exhale when your ex didn't believe in you, right, Taylor?
Oh, absolutely. All week we try to treat this as just as another game, but, everyone knows that half this roster and, almost the whole staff came from Carolina, and this one was a little personal. So when the clock hit zero, we were pumped up.
Yeah, I could tell by the energy in there. And let me see. During the week, did you feel like, all right, this is the playbook or the script that we need to go by? Did you feel good about what y'all put in offensively? Because it didn't look like nothing y'all did got stopped. Y'all ran the ball when you wanted to. You did well in the red zone. You passed the ball when you wanted to. How did you feel about the offensive game plan coming in the week?
Felt great. I think Scott did a great job with that. And at the same time, we had a great game last week. It was a huge confidence booster, and we just kept rolling with it. And those guys up front have been doing a great job all year, and it just keeps showing week in and week out. So big shout out to those guys up front. We ran the ball when we wanted. They protected pretty well, and again, we got a big one on Monday coming up.
Speaking of those big guys, we had some shuffling go on today, and how did it feel with with different centers coming in and out? Yeah,
center 3 and 4 of the season in the game today.
Yeah, so Wes Schweitzer came in, did a great job. I was a little nervous at first. I haven't really taken many snaps with him, throughout the year. But he came in, did a great job. And, again, it speaks volumes to our coaches getting all of our guys ready.
Yeah, no doubt about it. With that shuffling, it worked well. What was it today? It looked like you guys found some really good matchups with Terry. Was that something you guys were designing, or was Carolina, were they as bold to think they could cover him single coverage a lot?
Mano.
I think it was a little combo of both. They didn't do anything different that we didn't see on film, but they spent a lot of money on their DBs. They have 3 first-rounders back there, and our guys did a great job again, just getting open.
And speaking of Terry, he did a great job on the outside. Cam did a great job. DeAndre Carter continues to make plays. But I thought that the running backs really added to this game. Talk about that group and what they did.
Yeah, so we got 3 good ones. AG's a big back. You see him just bruising through people. JD's a little quick, and he can make some plays. It's fun handing the ball off and seeing what he does with it. And then JP, a rookie, he came in and had some big runs there at the end. So, again, it's really fun handing the ball off those guys and see what they do with it. It's a good group of guys.
Well, you guys, 2 wins out of the bye, heating up at the right time. You got to keep it going. You got the Seahawks coming in here for Monday Night Football next week. Should be a lot of fun. Taylor, congratulations, another big performance, and keep it going.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
All right, thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. You see how the energy changes when wins happen? You know what? The best deodorant for losing is just victories. Just stacking victory. It changes the stench, the smell of everything.
That was it was interesting to hear him say the same thing. Obviously, Ron Rivera. Of course, it had to mean more. Of course, it had to mean more today, and you knew that going in this week. But they did a good job, kind of making it not the story. Yeah, throwing rose petals at Cam, and at them. It was smart. It was a smart way to play it. And
but you can't trick me.
You know it was.
You can't trick me.
You knew it. I mean, you were Viking. You went back there. You played this team.
I hated on us too.
Yeah, and then you went there. Yeah, and then you went there and played them.
To go to the playoffs, we beat them.
Right.
And yes, it felt good. Yes, it felt good to make my old fans at Minnesota put a smile, turn it upside down into a frown. It felt good to beat them. I'm sorry, people don't like to say these things. Sometimes when somebody don't believe in you and you go one up them, it feels good, and you should be able to celebrate it.
All right. Inova Injury Report is the official health system of the Washington football team. Learn more at Inova.org. Two injuries, obviously, in the offensive line today. Center Ted Larson goes out with an injury. Then you also had the injury to Sam Cosmi at the right tackle position. So we'll have to monitor those this week. Hopefully nothing too severe for either one of those guys.
Ray Brown. Anytime we get in line trouble, we call Ray Brown.
That's right.
Ray Brown.
He's always, he'll be ready.
Yeah,
he's probably in better condition than most of these guys.
He's actually looked very good. I seen him doing our alumni weekend. So Ray is still looking good, and he was the only guy beside Darryl Green that literally had to take the pictures with 3 generations. He played in the 2000s, the 90s, and the 80s. I think he snuck in here as a baby in the 70s and played then also.
That is fantastic.
Ray Brown, one of the best.
He was. I mean, he was always the guy too. Like, they need someone to get him in here.
One of my favorite players. I love him. And by the way, we this way overdue. We should have gave some love to the Spirit as they add to the championship banners for the District of Champions. Hey, Spirits, congratulations as we continue to get things done.
Is it Spirits or Spirit? I think it's Spirit,
I love
right?
Spirits.
I don't think it. No, I don't think that's plural. No, I think it's just Spirit. I think it's just Spirit.
They should change it to the Spirits, so I can stop there locally and buy alcohol.
By the way, Tyler Lawson. By the way, I'm sorry to Tyler Lawson who was injured, not Ted Larson, who's not even on this team. I don't know who that is, but anyway, I think he was also a center. He played at NC State, but anyway. All right. Who's your defensive player of the game today? Because there's a few guys that made some plays that you could certainly vote for, including.
Well, I come from a generation that used to have boy bands with more than one people getting love.
Yeah.
So I want to give it to the whole defense. The whole defense. I know you want to point out one or two guys.
They're not getting a free car out of it, or they're not like a watch on the line. So whatever. We can give it to everybody.
You never know. All I'm saying is I thought they played great team defense.
No, I think you're right.
I think they took on the blow from a heavyweight early, which they knew they were going to get because of the energy in there. They lasted, and all of them started to make plays. Cameron Curl, James Smith-Williams, Deron Payne, John Allen been playing like he's possessed with the ghost of Lawrence Taylor. Reggie White, I'm just saying. So he's been playing well. The linebackers actually played well today. So I'm saying is I thought it was a group effort. This one goes to everybody.
All right, 2 for 8. They held the Panthers in third down today, which was huge. Defensive players of the game. We're giving it to everybody. Brought to you by the Virginia Department of Health and the Washington football team tackling COVID together. All right, here's what we're going to do.
To everybody.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll line up some calls at 301-230-0980. A 27-21 win over the Carolina Panthers today. And next up, the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Get to some calls straight ahead. You can check us out on the YouTubes as well. You're listening to the Washington Football Team.
That deodorant.
All right, now we're out here. We're going to talk about the options on the choice route. Stevie's going to be the wide receiver. You want to get someone who's really twitched up, really athletic, and can make good decisions. So we're going to start off with our first option. On a choice route, you can go up, you can break in, you can go up and break out, or you can sit it down. So we're going to take a look at our linebacker here, Maddie, and watch where we go. Stevie, here, run our first route. Ready, go. Good. Maddie gives outside leverage. Stevie keeps it nice and vertical, away from the plugger, away from Maddie's help here in the middle. That's an excellent job. Now let's see zone here real quick. Good, Stevie again. Ready, set, go. So backs up, there's a soft spot in the zone. Good job, Stevie is in a nice soft spot. We got the corner out here who could make a tackle. We got the Mike in here, and we got the hooker right here. Find the soft spot in the middle. Okay, here we go. Now you're gonna drop out because it's 2-man, okay? So 2-man, so inside leverage, yep. Ready, go. Good, attack the leverage. Phase a little bit, don't drift on your route. But again, you got 3 options here, okay? And again, this is really tough to do because ideally, Stevie, here, come up here, and win against leverage, okay? So give her something and then win out this way. Because this defender is trying to funnel Stevie to her help. So when she opens her hip, she's trying to funnel you to the plug. When she opens her hip this way, she's trying to funnel you to the safety. If you can win against leverage, it's a touchdown. So that's why this communication and knowing your receiver is so important. I got to trust that if Stevie can do that, she gets it done. So Stevie, win against leverage, okay? Maddie, ready, go. So yeah, see, I thought Stevie was going to break in right there, and that's why it's so challenging on these routes. The communication has to be at such a high level with the receiver, with the quarterback. I love this wrinkle to the offense. It's been a nice addition, especially with the 2 backs, Gibson and McKissick.
An active lifestyle means you never stop moving. That's why only Theragun devices are designed to release your body's deepest muscle tension, so you can do the things you love. Land that pose, hit that final rep, taste success, and do it all over again. You only have one body. Make it a TheraBody.
Another round. What a night. I'm gonna head home now.
Make sure you call for a ride. That's what we're doing.
I'm fine. I can drive. I'm fine.
Just calm down. Come on, man. None of us are fit to drive. How about we get you a safe ride home, all right?
And Fred Smoot.
Here we go. 3:05 to go. 4th and 3 at the 32. Carolina used the timeout, thought better of punting to Washington. They're going to go for it here. Newton takes the snap. McCaffrey leaves the backfield. He steps up, he's throwing towards him. It is caught. Camp Girl has him. It's going to depend where they spot him. Is he short of the 35? He's at about the 34.5-yard line. That ought to be a turnover on downs. Now, Bobby McCain looks like he's cramping in his right hamstring. He's sitting on the field at the 35. This is going to depend on the mark. Curl put him out of bounds on the near sideline. Let's see where they mark him. They still have said nothing yet. I think it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they're going to measure this thing.
Rolling on the field as a runner is short of the line of the game. First down, Washington.
All right. Yes.
All right. Woo! Christian McCaffrey came back for the ball. It was a little bit behind him, and Curl made an outstanding play to ensure him out of bounds. I think Carolina, I have to assume that they've got to challenge the spot. How can they not challenge the spot here?
Washington's defense is fired up as they're running off the field as well. Yes. They knew that it was a big test right there. Had to absolutely stop them.
And they did, as they win at 27-21. Got another stop after that because Carolina wouldn't get the ball back. All right, 301-230-0980. I didn't let the music play there either.
Hey,
no,
you're a music hater.
That wasn't your song.
Hey,
no.
the milk has gone
Was that your
bad.
song? Was that your song, or is this like the usual Anthony? Like this is an Anthony's rotation
But Anthony,
song?
me and the Ant-Man, we in the same quantum realm. All right, so you don't worry about him. Me and him is eye to eye when it comes to musical taste. But great play by Cameron Curl right there, especially on Darius Sanders. The milk has gone bad.
All right, wow, we've seen 2 tight ends run in touchdowns today. Zach Ertz just did for Arizona, and earlier we saw Travis Kelce and the Wildcat do it as well. That's crazy.
And we also saw Cam running one in.
Did he run? He did. Ertz ran that in, right? Did I see that correctly?
Yeah.
No. It was a shovel pass.
And Jalen Hurts ran 3 touchdowns.
Jalen Hurts ran 3 in. So Colt McCoy got a TD pass.
What about that Kirk Cousins, your boy?
Did he lose today?
I don't know. You going off that Kirk Cousins?
I don't know. They were. That was a back and forth. I thought they ended up losing. All right, let's get to the phone calls at 301-230-0980.
You know Sabah's on this line somewhere. You know it.
We got 2021 season and single game Washington football team tickets available now. You can visit WashingtonFootball.com/tickets. Monday night against the Seahawks coming up next week.
And this should be crunk. All right, this is the perfect time for us to pack FedEx Field on Monday night, be there to support the fellas, and, hey, get a 3-game winning streak. How many times we said that in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I hope they're shining up that logo, too. Really nice for the
Hey,
Monday
I
night.
like the logo.
Lights,
I don't want to see the NFL shield in the middle of the field no more.
No,
I like
they're
the
1-0 with the logo. Actually, now 2-0 since the logo's been put on the field.
That's all I'm saying. The W is for win, because that's what we're doing with that W right there.
Two wins in 2 games with the W on the
a
field,
used
although
car
nobody was
salesman.
there today. All right, Earl, what's going on? Well, there might have been people there watching the game. Who knows? Earl, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, guys? That was a great game. Heineke is just, I don't know what stratosphere he's in, but he's playing his butt off, man. I tell you. I just don't like him holding the ball. He's still holding the ball a little too long.
Yeah, he took some really bad sacks.
Literally, he got choke slammed today, bent over backwards by Jimmy
He
Superfly
looked like an Annie's
Snooker.
pretzel, man.
That was not. They wouldn't let nobody else do anybody else quarterback like that. But they did our quarterback. He got choke slammed.
No, honestly, that would have never. If they'd done that to Cam Newton, the whistles, the flags, all of it. Yeah, that was horrible.
That's me. Hey, yeah, it sounds like it looked like he tore his knee up, man. I said, oh man, did he tear his knee up? But thank God he didn't. But also, what I liked as well is John Allen. You know, I've been on John Allen all year, saying he was overpaid and all this stuff. But man, he was trucking some guys back into Cam's lap. It was unbelievable.
He got those offensive linemen.
I mean, he kicked them out the club. He was doing some jumpy gather stuff. Y'all know you remember jumpy gathers.
I remember jumpy gathers, brother.
Jumpy gathers at the forklift move. He literally gets his arms under your armpits and lift you up and move you backwards.
But hail to the W. I'm gonna make it short. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Earl.
Hail to the Washington.
I don't know, Earl. You're a tough grader, man. I think Jonathan Allen's had a hell of a season.
No, I've been saying. I
think the contract is looks like
warranted.
A smart move. Very smart to go early on him.
But that was a wrestling move that they did on Heineke.
That was terrible.
I have never seen a quarterback and it'll get did like that in the field and no flag. No flag hits the ground.
Yeah, now he did draw a flag earlier when he slid. He drew that DB in and he slid just in time, and then that guy got him in the shoulder and then got a 15-yarder.
But you got to call it. It's like James Harden, how he flops into the foul all the
he's
time.
definitely he's changed his body type. We talked a lot about this in the offseason and the preseason to get stronger, to absorb more hits, but still, stop taking the hits if you don't have to. There's no reason.
What? He didn't sign up to wrestle. He did not say I'm a wrestle. Coco beware.
Right.
Like you treat all the rest of the quarterbacks with delicate gloves, but my quarterback can literally go through what he just went through. No, come on. He's not working for McMahon.
All right, let's get to Lap next, and those aren't even real. Hey, Lap, what's happening? You're next up here on the Washington Football
I felt
Postgame
bad
show.
when I found out wrestling wasn't real.
Really?
It broke my heart.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing? What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up, Smoot? Hey, man, this team is in a good position, man. We don't have a chance for the tiebreaker for the wild card with Minnesota and 49ers, man. The Saints look like they might be falling apart even though they beat us. But we still have a chance against every other team. I think we got 6 conference games if you count the division teams. Yep. So this team just played, man. And like I told y'all last week, Joe Gibbs football. Make plays on offense. Run the football, defense get timely stops. And I like the play calling with Scott Turner. Looks a lot better. I would like to see McKissick and Patterson run the football more. I kind of want to see Gibson in the passing game more, but I think if he gets his confidence up, man, he won't fumble because that was a big fumble right there, and we actually could have, scored on that possession.
But he learned from it. He learned from it because he got benched right after that. He learned from it because he got benched right after that fumble. And that's what I like about Coach being stern and say, you know what, get over there and watch this game a little bit so when you get back in, you can grab the reins and keep running. And when y'all going to give my guy Dollar Bill Jackson some props? Because Dollar Bill made some timely PBUs and breakups today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I was happy to see Carter and Cam Sims in there, man. I just want to see them and Humphreys in because Brown is disappointing me. It seems like he can't get no separation. And I'm really upset with Curtis Samuels. I know, injuries happen, but come on, man. You got paid, dude. You need to be out there with your team.
Well,
so
he's trying, man.
I would say the best ability is availability.
I'm not saying he's not trying, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like when we pay guys, they don't, they don't pan out. We don't get something for them.
He had no idea what the history of free agents was here. I mean, he's just trying to get paid. And he tried to play this week. I mean, it's not like he's not trying. Poor guy. They roll him out every week, and he hasn't asked to go in the IR. I mean, he's literally trying to play every week.
And to his defense, anytime it's a soft tissue injury with speed guys, it ain't going away none this year. Even if he did play, it just will still be bothering him.
Yeah, but look, give them credit. We thought this was the best roster we have seen here in a while. And, the depth has shown out. I mean, the depth has picked up the slack here very well for them. So.
And let me ask you something, Jack.
Yep.
Danny Johnson.
I like him in the new number.
In the 3-6. We ain't seen the 3-6 Mafia since Sean.
He's been he made some plays again today. I mean, he's been really good.
He's been really good. He's been very consistent. I'm sorry. He probably has the highest cornerback grade if you go play for play. And now
fewer snaps, obviously. But, I mean, he's been he's been very effective for them, and that's been helpful. I mean, those guys the secondary was really good today.
Mm-hmm.
They were throwing a lot of underneath stuff, sideline stuff, the more. I mean, they didn't really try this secondary deep. I mean, the McCaffrey play, I guess, it was like under 30 yards, but still pretty deep shot. But anyway, it was, overall a very good defensive day to come out of a win on the road.
When St. Juice come back, those are the snaps. Do you make him share
those?
Well,
St. Juice was there today. You just didn't hear his name because, again, these guys didn't get thrown at. I mean, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bones, go ahead. You're next up here on the official postgame show.
Hey, what's going on? Scott Jackson, my main man, Freddie Smoot. Hey, man, look, check it out. Man, Heineke, man, since he's been playing from the beginning of the season and getting them reps in, his throwing motion, his command of throwing the ball, and his accuracy has been coming around, man. I am really proud with the growth and the progress of Taylor Heineke. Now, the defense, I love this defense, man, because this defense is called next man up. These guys been playing, man. Guys been getting injured, going down and stuff, and the next man up been coming in, and this defense and this offense has not been missing a beat, man. This is the next man up Washington football team, man. Next man up.
Hey, Bones.
Yeah,
Bones.
Freddie.
Hey, let me ask you something, Bones. Who is your sponsor today? Is it Jack Daniels or Bud Light? Who is your sponsor today? What you drinking on, Bones?
No, I ain't drinking on nothing, Fred. I'm in one day at a time, man. But look, I'm glad when Savannah comes, she gonna support me when I'm telling you, man. Taylor Heineke, man, has taken command of that offense, man. And he's moving that ball, man. And hey, man, I'm really proud of that guy, man. Thanks for taking my call, man. Love you guys, man.
I love you too, Bones, but yes, he is drinking.
All right. See, no, he's not. He's thinking one day.
Of course he is.
Hey, let's pause. We got to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network. Don't tell.
This is the official home of the Washington Football Team. WTEM Washington, WJFK HD2 Manassas, the T980, and Odyssey Station.
Nobody likes a narc. All right. 301-230-0980. We'll get to Ron Rivera's presser here in a little bit. Also got a few other things to hit here in a bit. But before we do that, let's get one more call in since I guess, it sounds like the callers are in cahoots together. They're like
they are working against us right now.
They're like setting each other up.
I wonder is this
Bone
going to be
said, Sabah was going to call in, and she's next on the line. So there you go.
Yeah, there it is. We know what you Sabah live from the Carolina Panthers Stadium. Sabah, did you have your dog with you today? First off,
yes, I did. Let me tell you, Fred. First of all, hallelujah, and praise the Lord, baby, and the words of Medea. Praise the Lord. I am on cloud nine, and let me tell you, for $1,800, I could have had front row behind the Redskins bench at the Panther Stadium. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I just came from a 2-day trip watching my daughter play in college basketball, and I was like, I'm exhausted. I just need to sit at home and watch because I didn't think we'd win, even though I did predict 28-20.
Come on now. How you not going to have faith in your boys, Sabah? How you not going to have faith of a mustard seed?
I just didn't think the defense would be there. But let me tell you, we are the youngest and the better defense, baby. The youngest and the better defense. So we are better without him. I'm sorry,
was
but
that
we
a
are.
playoff the young and the restless?
Yes, it is. But with the youngest and the restful defense, how's that?
All right.
Okay?
I call them the soup bone boys because that's what we got on the D-line. None of them paid yet. They all on soup bones.
They let Taylor do his thing today. Let me tell you, they weren't perfect. I don't need perfect. I just don't need suck, okay?
All right.
And they weren't suck today, thank God.
Right.
Now, Taylor Heineke.
Yep.
Tom Brady says there are 4 traits you need to be a long-term QB in this league. You got to think, you got to throw, you got to lead, you got to learn. Taylor can do all those. So just take it easy, guys. Stop telling me all about the pass. You know that Terry McLaurin long ball? Terry should have caught that. I'm sorry. He stopped. He should have kept running. And I love Terry. But, again, things are hard. You can't always hook up every time. He was 5 and 7 on passes to Terry. That's great. Terry's amazing. I'm not complaining about Terry. But don't act like on Twitter, everybody, see, Sabah, he missed that throw. Did you see that other throw he did on that third down when he was grabbed? His little noodle arm that you guys keep calling noodle? He got that to Bates, who sucked on the play where he didn't block the guy. He missed a block to cause a sack. I'm telling you guys, listen, just give Taylor time. Give him time.
Hey,
Cam Newton got all the press. And listen, one Taylor Heineke has beat back-to-back now former NFL quarterback MVPs in Tom Brady and Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's got one more to beat next week.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, one more next week.
Hey, last call
well, it was
for
never
alcohol.
an MVP, but a guy who should have been an MVP.
Hey, things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of Taylor. So thanks for taking my call. I appreciate you guys.
All right, thanks for your call all the time, Sabah.
Hey, by the way, she lives in Carolina, so I lived there for a while too. And it is weird because it was at one point, especially in the Raleigh area where I was
all live fans,
all Washington fans.
Yep.
And then slowly, obviously, the Panthers because of Ron Rivera and also John Fox before him.
Yep.
They had good years.
They took their fan base.
They kind of took the fan base away. So for a Washington fan down there, it really does feel good when you get these head-to-heads and you get to beat them, especially down there because they're all they're kind of like, you guys' franchise doesn't matter to them anymore and all this stuff. And some of them are closet. They got their Washington gear.
The older group, the older people, they stayed true to the Washington team. And that's just like we had an invader from the north. When the Ravens got in Maryland, it took a lot of our Maryland fan base. So if you're still here and part of the fan base, you're true and tested. You know what? Because we've taken you through some emotional ups and downs. I want to apologize for my part in it.
We'll have the Taylor Heineke conversation before the show's over because, look, he's answered the bell since prior to the bye week where they moved the ball, couldn't score. He had the bonehead play.
They just wasn't finishing.
In the
That's
Packers
what it was.
Game. Right.
Yeah.
And now to come out and, they're finishing everything now.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks against 2 quality defenses and 2 quality wins. We'll definitely talk about that coming up. We're going to hear from Ron Rivera on the other side a little bit more from the press conference. A 27-21 win over the Carolina Panthers on the road today. And, it did mean a little bit more for a lot of people that work for this franchise. We'll get to that straight ahead. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.
Do you have a favorite play, memory moment, game from your time with Washington?
One of my favorite memories, I got 3 of them. I'll give them to you real quick. Getting drafted by Washington in 2002, making a roster in 2002, and returning a kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys in 2006 on Sunday Night Football. I remember
Prime
that.
time, all the lights, and you were showing out.
We lost the game, but that was something I always,
that's
that's near and dear to my heart. I'll never forget that,
I got a few. The first one was making it to the playoffs for the first time in my career when we was with RG3. And his rookie year was just so magical because that year was going to be like my first year really actually getting time as a backup. So the first game was against New Orleans and I didn't play. But just being in that atmosphere is like, I can't wait to get out to practice next week so I can show these guys that I can play. Just seeing that atmosphere and seeing the guys go out there and play, I wanted to be a part of that.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. It's about grit. It's about guts. It's about winning. It's about where we come from and what we can be. It's about DC and celebrating our football team. With the Washington football team scratcher from the DC Lottery, you can win up to $50,000, as well as some exciting second chance opportunities. And you can continue your winning experience at DCILottery.com.
McKissick's in the backfield. Two wide receivers in the slot to the right. Snap to Heineke on 4th and 3. Steps up, looks to his left, skips through the tackle of Hassan Reddick. Now he has to stop at the 45, runs out of time, throws back across his body. That is caught. Unbelievable play. What? John Bates at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain and a first down.
And think about it. John Bates is our third string tight end. Wanted to be able to see what he can do in the pass game. Wow.
Way to be decisive, Taylor Heineke. Way to get outside of that pocket when you sense the pressure, and then you see the matchup that you like down the football field. Because Taylor wanted to run, but Dante Jackson was sitting out there on the flats. He picks up the running back that was Taylor's check down option, and Taylor finds John Bates just running into the screen. Great catch.
That was the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Visit Local Union 26. Visit IBEWLocal26.org for more information. And that was the most electrifying 6-yard play you'll ever see.
You know what?
I mean, to get out of the tackle, first of all, he should have been, it looked like Taylor was going to be tackled out in the flat where he rolled out to the left and able to get it over to Bates, kind of sidearming that thing.
Yep.
It was a huge play at the time, no question, and it was gutsy by Ron Rivera to go for it at that point, too.
He started off stumbling like he had too many Heinekens, and then he straightened it up and he got the play. And that's what we said this. When the play is off schedule.
He's an off schedule player.
That's when he's at his best. So when he does something off schedule, it never shocks me. Yeah. All right? Like, I know it might shock other people, but, hey, he's an Old Dominion legend. He threw for 700 yards in one game.
That's right. And now he's starting to be more comfortable in the pocket.
Yep.
Like there are times he holds the ball too long. Obviously, he had got a couple of that today.
It's going to take reps.
But and again, you, with the lack, what he may not have an arm strength, he has to throw with anticipation, and that's what I think he's done a better job since the bye week in that regard. Because I think we look back at that Denver game, there was some plays like that, and in the Packer game where he got himself in trouble with some of the turnovers, which was holding the telegraphing it, and obviously just trying to. Make throws that he just didn't have in the repertoire.
Well, like I told you, Heineke gets to, how should I say, his future, he can dictate it. If he plays us into a high draft pick, we're going to draft your replacement. If he plays us to a low draft pick, we're not going to draft a quarterback.
Well, I mean,
it's simple as that.
Look, the one thing that's been answered is, does he have a place in the NFL? Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Hey, put it like this.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
already cemented himself as the backup quarterback here for the next 10 years.
I mean,
now, can you be the starter?
Right.
That's up to you.
And right now, you keep winning, you're going to be the starter.
You're going to be the starter.
It's not hard. It's not a hard thing to figure out.
And that's what. And I know we wish he was probably a couple of years younger.
Sure.
But, you got an old baby. You got to love him for what it is.
All right, let's hear from Ron Rivera from the podium after the win in Carolina. Brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Here's the coach.
They do the things that they need to. They rely on each other. The thing I'm really pleased is it's all starting up front on both sides of the ball. I think the offensive, defensive line are coming alive. These guys are playing some very solid, sound football. And again, they're just doing the things that they need to do to give us a chance.
What is it Taylor's done these last 2 weeks to really elevate his game?
I think the biggest thing he's doing is he's starting to see things. He's starting to see what he needs to see. He's throwing the windows that he needs to throw. We're getting healthy up front. Now we got a couple nicked guys. We got to get those guys back out on the football field. But that I think is all part of it as well.
Obviously, a lot of attention for quarterbacks coming back to Charlotte. Taylor's probably not the biggest storyline. I mean, how important is this for him? And what did you see out of him? And what did you talk about coming in here?
Well, yeah, and the biggest thing we talked about more than anything else is just going out and doing our job. The nice thing is we caught them before they, Cam really gets into their playbook. I mean, this is the time to plan, and so we were fortunate. I know they're going to get more efficient as they go along, and he gets more and more into that book. But for Taylor, this really was about, taking what was there. We were able to run the ball well. We were patient. Taylor was patient, a couple times too patient. I'd like to just see him throw it away instead of take a sack. But he played a good football game. He really did.
What kind of interaction did you have with Cam today?
No, we had an opportunity to greet each other. I'm a big fan, and he's a heck of a competitor. The thing that I was concerned of most was him and Christian, and DJ Moore and our guys were able to withstand the whole action that those three guys put together, and we were very fortunate.
You have a big drive right before halftime. You go for it on, I believe, 4th and 6. What gave you the confidence to do that?
I really like the way that Taylor's seeing certain things, and Scotty had a play that he had a lot of confidence in, and so we went with it. And it's also based on where we were. I wanted to have the momentum going in to the locker room as opposed to not, and then coming out and scoring right away really gave us an opportunity.
What did you say about that 4th down and 4 play? I think it was with Taylor scrambling. It looks like he's going to get sacked. Shovels the left and throws back to base. What did you see on that play?
Same thing. We were in a position where we had to keep the momentum, and if we were going to punt it, maybe gain, 20 yards out of it. So what the heck, the analytics, they go for it, and that's what we were talking about. I was talking on the headset about. And again, some of the stuff that we felt we could do, Scotty had a lot of confidence in. When I sit down and talk with him, during the week, and he talks about things that he feels good about. One of the things we talk about are 3rd down and 4th down situations, and he was very confident in some of the calls we had.
What did you think of how Taylor on that play?
That scared the hell out of me. But that's him. He's got the ability. He sees things. And he's got a very innate sense to him about certain plays like that.
Keep taking me through Antonio Gibson's day. The early fumble, sits, he has some big runs, then he doesn't go out of bounds.
Well, he got frickin' horse collar around the neck and thrown out of bounds. But he bounced back, and that's what you want. You want that resilience, and he's a young man that's just going to get better and better the more he develops and grows. I wish he hadn't fumbled because it would have been a very good day for him. He had a good day, though. He really did, and he's an exciting young man to watch.
All right, Ron Rivera, after the win, fired up. 27-21 final. Washington wins it, and we'll get the Monday Nighter against the Seattle Seahawks coming up. All right, Fantasy Focus brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Download the app today and make every moment more. All right, a lot of these fantasy experts, I love to read them, Fred, because you know what they are? They're just educated guessers.
First of all, it's no science to it.
Right. So anyway, all of them said bad play of the week, stay away from Washington guys. Taylor Heineke, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. So here's what you got out of that. You got Heineke 3 touchdown passes. a $194 in the air, or excuse me, 206 in the air.
Yep.
Antonio Gibson ended up with 95 yards rushing. Did not have a touchdown, but he had 95 yards rushing. McLaurin, 100 yards, 103 yards, 5 catches, and a TD. So he obviously was worth playing today.
Yep.
Worked out pretty good.
The kicker, we just talked about our new
How about
kicker.
Joey Sly? Makes both his kicks, all his extra points. I mean,
they
we're getting
fired
spoiled.
him too, right?
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers cut him
They
too.
fired him.
Yeah.
That's why this was totally a revenge game. What in the Sam Hill were they thinking?
Hey, we like it.
That's what Coach Gibbs used to say all the time.
Sam Hill all the time, yeah, when he's cursing.
Because he don't curse, so he say, what in the Sam Hill?
All right, Cam Newton did have 2 touchdown passes, also a touchdown run.
Yep.
And McCaffrey had 7 for 60 and a touchdown catch, and also had 58 yards rushing. So he had like a good, his usual 120-plus yards or 120 yards.
Coach was right, though. This is the time to catch them before Cam really learns Joe Brady's
No, that's
playbook.
that was a valid point and an honest thing for the coach to say, no doubt about it.
Yep.
All right, coming up, we'll get the second hour here of the Washington Football Postgame Show. We're wrapping it up on the YouTubes, but we got another hour of radio if you just want to hear our lovely voices.
Oh, yes,
we'll get the phone calls. We'll also start looking at the road ahead beyond just Seattle. We'll play the speculation game because Fred loves it.
I love it.
301-230-0980, your phone calls.
What if?
And yes, Taylor Heineke seems to have grabbed this position by the horns as they head into the Monday Nighter, where apparently it's an alumni outing for Old Dominion people as well. So I got an invite for that a few weeks ago. And at the time I thought, that's ultra-aggressive, but I like it.
You know what? Old Dominion.
I thought, damn, that's aggressive. We're doing this in September, and we're projecting into November, but dang it, if they didn't nail it.
Hey. Yes, they did. That's
they
one thing
nailed
I can say about that junior college down there at Old Dominion.
Oh, look at you. By the way, our football team is a win away from being bowl eligible after a horrendous start.
Are we meeting there this weekend, yes or no?
I think we probably should.
I can't wait till you comb your toupee to the side and watch a college game.
27-21 the final. Washington wins it today. This is the Washington Football Team Radio Network.